Hello everyone, my name is Victor.
And I'm Caroline.
And during this semester we're talking a lot about how games affect the gamers, but me and Caroline we're looked at the other way and how the game communities can impact the games.
So yeah, we based our presentation on our own experience and how for us the game community could influence in one way our experience and in another way how we look at the game.
Yeah, and doing this we have to define what is the game community, and a very simple way of doing this is calling it an online gathering of people who share a common interest of a certain game. We can also refer to the game community, which is kind of a general idea of gamers as one group and a whole. It can also be game-related websites like IGN or something, doing reviews, YouTube channels, Twitch channels, people playing games, talking about them. We can also talk about the IRL communities, people just getting along with their friends, playing games for an evening or a day or a night. So, what impacts can gamers have?
So we can have two kinds of impacts. So we will be focused on the game experience, how the game community can influence our game experience, and on the consumption of game. I mean, how game community can impact the developers and the conceptors of video games.
Yeah, so we'll start talking about the game experience.
So the first question we will try to answer is, in which way can the game community impact the game experience? So we will base on our own experience and our game community add an influence on our own experience. So the first thing is the huge importance of forums, chats in game community. It means that it's a huge support of communication. So when I think all of us already had an experience on the forum about a game, that you just arrive in a game and you're a bit lost, so you will try to see in forums how you can begin the game. So it's a huge support of help and support from the community to help you to improve your character and everything. And also, so we received the question that if we prefer multi-gaming or single gaming, and a lot of us answer that we like multi-gaming, but when you play with other people, you need to communicate with them, and for that the chat is a huge support because you can communicate with them in live. And so it's important to feel in the community, to receive some help from them and everything, to involve. But I also wanted to speak about the role playing, because the game community can add a total other dimension of the game, and is that what makes the interest of MMORPG, for example. And I wanted to speak about the role playing because sharing role playing and create your own universe with other players can add another dimension of the game, because role playing is like being more immersed in the game, because you will create your own character which will differ from yourself, gamer behind your character. So yeah, you will participate and you will assume a new role, and you can share the role, the story, for example, of a character on support like forums or stuff like that. The game community has also another interest. For example, in World of Warcraft, it can be really helpful for you if you want to join a guild, for example. There is studies about skills and how it can interfere with the gameplay, because it can help you to improve your character. The high level or your guild will take care about the lowest level. And I think it's crazy how you can be involved in your guild. I have been a boss of a guild, and a few times I was quite surprised because I felt really responsible for my lowest level, like if they were like kind of my babies. So, yeah, so it can really help you to be involved in the game. I think that's why it can make the game more interesting.
And the second one is how we experience a more based on gameplay. And here I talk more about mods and how the community can change the experience with new graphics. You can see here, not very good, but it's 2 screens of Minecraft, and one is obviously modded, and it looks like an entirely different game. We also can have new avatars, new play modes, and even completely new gameplay mechanics. Another example from Minecraft can be I joined the server and I was no longer looking for diamonds, but I was playing first-person Star Wars team deathmatch shooter. So it really has the power to change the very fundamentals of a game.
Yeah, game community can be a real bank of content for the game. And for example, it was really true when I was like a teenager and I played a lot of The Sims. And at a point I've been quite bored by it because it was also always the same content, always the same carry you can have. And then I saw that I could download online other content, other skins, other objects gave from the community. So I downloaded and then I had more fun and it gave kind of other life of my game.
Which extends the lifetime of an entire game.
Yeah.
So the second area is the conception of a game and how the community can influence the conception of a game and how the developer choose to.
So the game community can have a really high expectation from the developers because we want always more and more and more. So the community can feel quite powerful and can have a huge impact using the support like forum, reviewing and everything, because if I want to buy a new game, the first thing I will do is have a look on the reviews and see if I can like the game or not. So I will be based on the experience of other gamers and I will trust the reviews and the ideas of other gamers to the game. So the developers are really aware about what the community can say about the game, about their game. So to that they try to know more and more about what the community think about it. So that's why there is also a huge work of data mining behind how gamers and how party you can play. I think you recognize the logo of Dota, and I wanted to speak about it because last year I had a project of the data mining, and at that period I didn't play Dota yet. I tried a bit after, but my colleagues were like, oh, it's super cool, you will do data mining on Dota. I can see if I choose that character, how, which will be my chance of which will be my chance to win. And so that's what they think. That's what we first thought, that we will try to find. Oh, that's I will see which character or the favorite or stuff like that. But that's like kind of it can be obvious because you can really see on the map which character will be chosen first. But actually, the data mining is more like different. It's like you collect all the data from a game, for example, and then you will try to make clusters, and you will finally find data and you didn't expect they add a meaning.
Yeah.
And then that way you will see that, okay, so there is a lot of players playing that way, so then you can maybe try to concept another version of the game which will be, okay, we will be focused on that way to play because that kind of people like it, and you will target those people.
So, to maintain the community, the developer also adds content and can also launch IRL events like tournaments and DreamHack, you may have heard of, probably the world's greatest LAN. We also have different kinds of in-game events, and I think most of us can see during Christmas and Halloween there's a lot of different teams, especially MMORPGs, I think, but also other kinds of games where you add content which has a relation to
every online game, because you will have few days focused on one event during the period of Christmas.
We believe this is just because the developers have realized the importance of the community and how powerful it is.
And also there is a close link between the real life and the game, because maybe if your game is happening in Middle Age, I'm not sure they were partying during Halloween in Middle Age, but there is an event on the game for Halloween. So.
Yeah, and so our conclusion is that the community has a big influence in game industry, and there are still areas where you can go and explore deeper in these various ways, especially with Gamergate and online hate and how this influences games. COD, for example, has a really bad reputation because of a lot of verbal abuse when playing online.
Yeah, and what if you want to play at a game, but you feel like you don't belong to the community behind that game? It can influence also your experience with that game.
Yeah, and that was all. Thank you very much. And any questions?
Can we get your thoughts on Gamergate then? We haven't really talked about it, from a social community perspective.
Do you want to talk about it?
Why, Victor? Caroline.
Yeah, actually, as I said, I've been a boss of a guild, and for many weeks the other players from my guild didn't believe I was really a girl behind my female character, because I was a boss, so I couldn't be a girl.
Are you saying gamers are sexist?
But I think it's also, we spoke about the power of developers to maintain the community, and I think it's also something from the conceptor and the developers, because also the professional world of video game is also really sexist, and they try, I can say that they try to maintain, but I think they are involved in maintaining that mentality, because when you can see how looks a female character in video game is like a male fantasy. So yeah, the conceptor and the developers also has a huge part.
Yeah, and game industry being a very male-dominated area, with males being more conservative, I think the changes take longer time unless we get more women into the industry to help speed up the changes a bit and making it less conservative and holding on to old values that I don't think we really need anymore.
And I think that's a really complicated question, because in one hand, so the game developers is like also a sexist universe, and the same for the community, so they are kind of, they're sharing a point, so it's like the community, also, they both work on maintaining the sexism in video game community. And I saw a really awful example of a competition of video game, and there was just one girl, and so she was coaching. Yeah, she was coaching, so by man, and the man was communicating with the community using a chat, and the gamers were like, oh, she looks so hot, can she dress a dress for tomorrow or a skirt? We want to say that, and the coach will actually say, okay, tomorrow you will wear a skirt because people want to see you in a skirt. And
But it is changing, as
yeah.
you saw in Jake's presentation. It is changing, yeah.
But it wasn't a long time ago, and the girl finally gave up the competition because of that.
Yeah. Any quick questions here, guys? 'Cause we're running out of time.
Do you think that if DreamHack kind of opened towards more countries and had more events, it would help the games community as a whole? Because it's such a big thing in the likes of Sweden and Central Europe. That if it was open to more people would, the camaraderie in gaming would
I think, and it's very much like the festival, music festival variation of the gaming community. When you get together and you have a good time and you all share this interest in games, and you get to learn a lot of different persons, because usually gaming today is in your room or in your living room playing a game, and all you ever see is the avatars of other players. But here you actually see the people behind the screen, and in such a great social context with hundreds or thousands of new players you can meet and interact with.
And what's
Success of
interesting
esports.
with the new social media is like you don't need to play video game anymore to belong to the game community. You can just be interested in video games and follow players on YouTube and everything, and just be interested in the universe of video game without really playing.
Excellent point, excellent point.
I do think one thing to bear in mind when you're looking into this stuff is there does seem to be kind of a disparity between community and kind of the vocal members of the community. Because like with Gamergate, there's so much controversy over it, but the thing is, Gamergate is just a hashtag. So like any Egypt with a laptop and who just doesn't like, just wants to spew hate, they can just put that hashtag there and suddenly they're part of that community. And like these could be just vocal minorities who are just incredibly vocal and incredibly offensive. So that's a good take there. You should consider that when you're looking into this, like the community versus vocal minorities that kind of colour people's opinions of the community.
Excellent. Okay, Bill.